Greetings, dear Capricorns. It's me, your tarot reader, Angelica. Today is the second tarot reading for April 2025. The readings on the Tarot Life channel are general. Well, let's get started. But before we begin, we kindly ask you to please pay attention to this link. You notice at the top of your screen. Please follow this link and watch your forecast for spring regarding personal relationships if you haven't watched it yet. So, naturally, before watching your forecast for April, well, now we begin. So, let's see what awaits you. The 3 most important events in April. What April has in store for you. So, the first important event, second, third. All right. Next, what awaits you in your professional activities in April 2025? What will your income be? And what awaits you in your personal life, in relationships? If you are in a relationship, let's also take a look. Personal life for Capricorn in April 2025. Also, with this deck, we will look at what to pay attention to in terms of health and advice from the cards for you. What I see at the bottom of the deck personally makes me very happy. But I won't show it to you just yet, because let's start everything in order. So, the first important event for you is the 8 of Cups. The second important event is the 3 of Cups. The third important event is the 10 of Wands. But I would say that there will be some situation that will, let's say, greatly excite you, or it will greatly stress you out. You will be looking for a way out of this situation, and it's quite likely that something will happen that will make you change your plans. Your dreams, your desires, which seemed relevant and interesting to you quite recently, maybe even just yesterday, will not interest you today. Perhaps this happened because everything became too complicated. Or maybe you just got tired of it and decided to radically change everything in your life. I want to tell you that this is most likely the right move, because at the center is the 3 of Cups, and it indicates that whatever happens with the 8 of Cups or the 10 of Wands, it is correct, because in the end, you will enjoy, you will rejoice, and you will celebrate your decisive actions. Well, now in order. The 8 of Cups is a card of abandoning an old way of life. It suggests that you are ready to set out towards unknown horizons, conquer new heights, realize yourself, and pursue new ambitions. This card may also indicate that you are dissatisfied with something or someone, or disappointed in something. Or, as I mentioned, you may simply lose interest in some of your plans or dreams as they become irrelevant. Therefore, most likely for you, events. The 8 of Cups will play out as setting off on a journey in search of a better fate. For some new achievements, the realization of completely new plans. And here, what's most interesting, for example, you had plans to take on some managerial position. All of this will lose interest for you because something else will open up before you, or you will have an epiphany, a realization that this position is no longer relevant for you, and something else is important. For example, moving to another city or another country. And for the sake of this, you will even refuse some positions, From power, you will refuse something because for you, completely, new stage is beginning. Of course, we don't know what this card represents in professional activities or personal life. However, according to the 8 of Cups, it could also mean changing to another job. This could be, for instance, retiring or perhaps taking an academic leave. Or it could be that you decide to start your own business, for example, and for the sake of this business, you leave your job or refuse a position. I also want to mention here that the 10 of Wands, this card represents, intense work, difficult circumstances. And perhaps this departure is specifically related to having so much work that you are already so tired of this work, that you have so many obligations, so many kind of like incredible responsibilities and a lot of work, many ambitions. But it's all so difficult, it's all so burdensome, and you are already so tired of it that you decide to leave. I want to tell you that perhaps it will play out, of course, such a situation in terms of personal relationships, but we will reveal this card and then I will speak in more detail. 10 of Wands. A little more about this card. A card that indicates you have taken on a very heavy burden, that you are overworked, and perhaps there is even a desire to shed this burden, to let it go and move forward lightly, possibly in a new direction. There can also be, of course, persistence and the desire, as they say, to carry these wands to the end, to endure, to withstand this, tense period, but it will be difficult. The pressure of circumstances here, the lack of prospects, the feeling that you are just carrying your cross and must go through to the end of some heavy karmic lesson. But on the other hand, this very thing might push you to drastically change everything in your life. Therefore here, the eventful Ten of Wands indicates that there are very large, even excessively large physical, some kind of burdens. But were there specific circumstances that forced you to take on the unbearable? Such obligations, an unbearable burden. And here the card might also indicate that you owe too much. Owe in the sense that you handle everything at home, all the work. And at work, you keep working hard, and no one helps you. And this, up to a certain point, might eventually, let's say, force you to drop everything and set off in search of a better fate. I want to tell you that when this happens, you will be incredibly glad and happy. According to the Three of Cups, for you it will be an incredible relief. These are new opportunities. This is happiness. This is an abundance of emotions. And quite likely on this path to your new future, you will already start something. As a result, according to the Three of Cups, you will have both success and joy, and you will be celebrating something. This card also indicates that your social circle will expand. Overall, your affairs will develop very well. Or if you are transitioning to a new job, then accordingly, everything is good in terms of work. There is better prosperity here, career advancement. There is an opportunity. In other words, something that will be more relevant for you. Something that will fill your heart with good emotions. That is, after some, as I understand it, well, let's say trials. Let's see which area it will concern more. Well, the Seven of Wands in work and another Eight of Cups in terms of finances. I think that this is exactly what these events will concern your work. Why? Because you, judging by the bottom of the deck, will pause for a moment and ponder for a moment, do I need this? All of this that I am dragging, no, nothing. There's no return, no opportunities, the salary is small, exhaustion, that's it, I can't do it anymore. You will sit down, calmly evaluate everything, weigh all the pros and cons, and consider whether you can, let's say, leave this job, for example, and succeed elsewhere. Judging by the cards here indicate that yes, because at the bottom of the deck there's another one, it's the Ten of Pentacles. And this is a family business, a business that is passed down from generation to generation. These are opportunities, this is good security, this is self-confidence. But since you have two Eight of Cups here, and I always say in my readings that when two identical cards appear in one spread, they literally draw attention to themselves. I think this will resonate with many. Why for many? Well, because this is a general reading for all representatives of the zodiac sign. That is, for some, it may manifest as, for example, very hard work and low income. For others, it will manifest as leaving a job and starting something new. For some, it's like enduring immense pressure according to the Seven of Wands. In general, it's different for everyone, but for many, I think it will be exactly like this. What will you find? That bridge that will lead you from a heavy, unpromising job filled with various obligations and responsibilities will lead you to a prosperous future and a family business. Or you will start monetizing your talents, hobbies, and passions, turning them into your income, success, and achievements. Well, something like that, what will make you later. This will bring you great joy, but if you still remain at your workplace and work as an employee, or even if you have your own business, then according to the Seven of Wands, this is a tense period. It's a challenging month when you will need to endure immense pressure. A lot of work, struggle, fighting against some obstacles, fighting with competitors. It's a very large amount of work, and the Ten of Wands. For us, it mostly plays out more in terms of work. It's, a multitude of such tasks that need to be done. Here, it can also play out, of course, as an option when you are defending some of your projects. Maybe you are working and studying, and this is a difficult period for you when you have taken everything upon yourself, when you have to study, defend, and take exams and defend your projects. It can play out as competitive struggle. Again, for some position, this will also be very difficult. Also here, if for example it's a position, then many stylish, talented people like you are applying for this position. However, with the 7 of Wands, you do have some advantages, competitive ones that you can win. I won't say 100%, but there's a high, awesome chance that you will win. Maybe here let's say your business is related to trade. Here it's like a very intense struggle, almost like trade wars, you could say. There might be provocations from competitors. You might face criticism, but something that you will feel. In terms of work, there is very strong pressure and influence from some external circumstances, and you will be forced to defend yourself and fend off some attacks. And all of this, such a state might push you to want to leave, to want to change jobs, to want to start something of your own, something new. Whether you leave or stay will, of course, depend on each specific situation. But nevertheless, according to the 8 of Cups in terms of finances, very often this card indicates that a person is leaving a job or business that has lost its appeal for them. It's an unprofitable business, burdensome responsibilities. It's like being on the job 24/7 with no opportunity, and by the way, for very little money. There's no opportunity to shift more responsibility onto someone else. It can indeed be a feeling of being in a sense of economic stagnation, or recession, and all of this brings no satisfaction. I think that this tension will peak precisely in April, when you will be taking some very important steps to change your financial year and professional future. By the way, according to this card, the 8 of Cups, it also happens that a person decides to move somewhere. Or even here, you see the waves are so turbulent, maybe to sail away somewhere to another country in search of a better fate, including better earnings. Well, that's how it is here. There will be some money here, of course, but mainly money will not bring you joy. According to the 8 of Cups, they won't. Even here, it can be said that there are likely problems with money. Here, it's specifically a forced departure. But here, it could also be a forced retirement, by the way. In fact, maybe you will actually fight to stay at work so that you can indeed retire there to keep working. But something here will be off, and you will likely leave on your own accord. It might be that you will leave even from a decent salary because the working conditions don't satisfy you. Or on the contrary, as I mentioned, dismissal due to low wages. So I will tell you, it's a month of significant events. Next, let's look at personal life. Here, the Queen of Wands appears. This is a card of bright, passionate, and exciting relationships. And for those in a couple, in family, long-term relationships, these are very intense, passionate relationships. They might even remind you of, taming of the shrew type of relationships. Here, perhaps the woman, of course, play the main role, perhaps adding drama to the relationship. But all of this, is a game. According to the Queen of Wands, it's a game. A game to further excite your other half. Here, there are many temptations, passion, and a desire to act independently and satisfy one's desires, manipulating one's partner. There might be jealousy here, and there might also be bright, passionate love. You definitely won't be bored. Because here I want to show you that at the bottom of the deck is the Knight of Cups. There will be plenty of love. So much, let's say, bright and passionate, exciting and fiery, because this is a fiery element that you will, as they say, drown in your feelings and pleasures. For those who are single, for women, the card indicates that you will be surrounded by admirers. And here, most likely, there will be a lot of acquaintances, perhaps even many infatuations, or you will be very captivated by someone. But you, like the Queen of Wands, dear women, will be very self-sufficient, confident in yourselves. You will build relationships as you wish. Well, in general, in any case, people will be drawn to you, and you will be surrounded by admirers. For men, this card indicates that you might meet, in the literal sense, with such a Queen of Wands, and you will strive to win her over, while she, most likely, will be twisting and turning you as she pleases, but you will be very captivated, because there is incredible energy and passion here. Next, let's see what awaits you. Not even what awaits you, but what to pay attention to in terms of health. 6 of Wands, a card of good health. If, for example, you were ill, even if it was an acute form of illness, you will handle it easily and recover quickly in April. So, well, that's if you were already ill. Overall, it's a card of good health, so again, there's nothing to worry about, be concerned about, and the advice is certainly the Star. The Star is, indeed a card that tells us we are focused on our aspiration. We have certain hopes and faith, and we strive to realize our dreams in this spread. This card precisely indicates that in April you will find hope, like a renaissance, a new life, some opportunities, which is why there are 2 Eights of Cups here. It signifies that there are new hopes, a stimulus appears, inspiration and enthusiasm arise. And you see, by the way, through the Star, some solid, bright prospects for you. All of this, what you will see, your determined mindset, seeing the prospects, all of this will give you a surge of energy to fulfill your dream. Also, the Star is a card of talents, meaning some of your talent will be revealed, which will give you an opportunity to possibly leave a difficult job or complex partnerships, an unprofitable business, in order to realize some new dream of yours which will shine very brightly for you. Therefore, the advice here is to believe in yourself. First and foremost, believe in a better future, hope for the best, and make plans. By the way, regarding the 2 of Wands, remember I told you to make plans, weigh all the pros and cons, assess risks and prospects. With the Star, it's also about realizing your dream. And also remember that even the most unattainable dreams can come true. The main thing is to believe in them. And when dreams come true, it's a miracle. And a miracle happens where people believe in it. So that's the forecast for you, dear Capricorn. Subscribe to the channel Terra and Life. Here, you'll find your forecast for the soul. And I thank you for watching. We will see each other tomorrow on the channel Terra and Life. Come by, I'm always glad to see you. That's all for now. We say goodbye with love. Yours, Angelica. Hugging you and goodbye.